Plongez dans le grand bain de la vie locale avec Radio Grand Lac sur 92.1.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Your English Weekly. Bonjour à tous ceux qui nous écoutent aujourd'hui en 92.1 FM et bienvenue à l'émission Your English Weekly, animée par moi-même, Sinead, de Your English Workshop. Cette émission stimule la langue anglaise et l'expression anglaise, bien entendu. Et aujourd'hui, c'est sponsorisé par Your English Workshop, qui est un centre de formation pour l'apprentissage de l'anglais, qui est bien entendu certifié Calliope. Donc, restez à l'écoute avec nous pour les prochaines 15 minutes, où on va voir notre expression de la semaine avec Tim, et puis notre conversation avec Tim aussi. Hi, and welcome back to Your English Weekly. I'm Sinead, and I'm here today with Tim to give you a short conversation in English. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Sinead.
How was your holidays?
Very good, thanks. And yours?
Oh, they were fantastic, thank you. So tell us, Tim, where did you visit this week?
Well, this week I went to Lyon I went there, I was participating in a trail by night.
Okay, but before we start now, Tim, and we talk about your trail by night and in Lyon, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you as well a little bit today about where I visited. So stay tuned to find out where that was. So our lesson today is a C1 lesson at a natural speed. And we've got two expressions for you today. So, how was your morning this morning, Tim?
Well, I found it a bit chilly actually this morning.
So what did you have to do? Did you have to wrap up?
Yes, had to wrap up warm.
So what does that mean, to wrap up warm?
It means to put an extra layer of clothing on.
And then what else?
Then afterwards, I prepared some stuff for my day.
Okay, sounds good. So, now, what are some of the words we're going to hear?
Okay, so we're going to hear rooting.
Okay, which means cheering, supporting, donc un support, ou supporter une équipe, par exemple. Okay.
We're going to hear a bib.
Okay, now a bib can be for children, but in this case here, c'est un dossard.
Yes. A trail.
Okay, so a trail in circuit, huh?
Chilly.
Okay, that's what we just said. It was very chilly today. Donc, fraîche.
Encompassing.
Well, I think encompassing is surrounding. Donc, autour, je suis pas très sûre, en fait, en français, encompassing.
Steepness.
Okay. Steepness in dénivelé.
Novel.
Now, novel can be either a book, of course, as you know, but it can also be something new, quelque chose de nouveau.
Flip over.
Okay, so when we do a flip over, so either it's literally where you turn around, you turn on yourself, or renverser, donc un changement.
A hub.
Okay, well, that's a word a lot of French people use today, a hub, which is also the center of something. So, for example, we've got the hub of Aix-les-Bains Tourist Center in Grésy-sur-Aix, and it's the center of the tourist office. So something is a hub, it's the center.
Peaceful.
Paisible.
Quirky.
Oh, eccentric.
Venue.
Okay, so a venue in English is a place where you can celebrate something. Donc un lieu de fête.
Okay, before I give you the expression, were you happy with the outcome of the World Cup in the end? Who were you rooting for in the final?
Well, believe it or not, I actually was rooting for New Zealand, but because I have great friends who are South African, I was able to play on both sides of the coin. But we really enjoyed it. We had a great night. We celebrated it with friends. We went to, actually met Jean-Pierre, believe it or not, there as well. And we were with their partners of Radio Grand Lac in the aquarium. It was really enjoyable.
That sounds fantastic.
And who were you rooting for?
Probably more New Zealand because the Saffers beat us. But I do have friends with as well from South Africa.
Okay.
I'm familiar with South Africa.
Yeah. So you were happy they won then?
Of course, and they deserve it. They're for their nation. It's good for the nation.
Yeah, and they worked hard and they did play really well.
Really well. They've been a strong, formidable team for a long time now.
Yeah. So what is our expression of the week this week?
Actions speak louder than words.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to explain that one to our listeners.
Well, for an example, John keeps saying he wants to take me out for dinner, but then he never does. So in this case, actions speak louder than words. If you always say something and never act, eventually...
Yeah, a bit passive.
Yes.
Rather than being active.
Yeah.
So actions speak louder than words. And it's true. We do like to see action and not just listen to what they tell us. So Tim, tell us about where we're visiting today. Where did you go this weekend? I know you went to Lyon because you told us. So tell us about this.
I participated in the Lyon Urban Trail by night. It was good fun, actually.
Okay, so was the Urban Trail a walk?
No, it was it was a run.
Okay.
There was different distances you could enter for.
And what did you do?
I signed up with a friend and we entered for the 15 kilometre.
Okay, so that wasn't too long.
No.
It's not a marathon.
It's not a marathon.
But
it's not flat. So.
Yeah, and it is in the evening, so it is more dangerous.
Yes, indeed. Well, recently I did a trail locally in Drumettaz, which was 21 kilometres, encompassing the area around where I live. And I was excited about running at night as it was going to be a novel experience for me.
Okay, so the first time you did that then. Fantastic.
Yep.
So was the atmosphere the same?
Well, the atmosphere was very different, actually.
Okay, so in Lyon, the roads are different.
Yeah, and there's more people around.
Of course.
It's two very different things. In the night, you've got all the lights of the buildings lit up.
Less noise?
More noise still, because you're in the city rather than the countryside. But it was a different experience because of you're running on the road in Lyon and on concrete, and in the countryside you're running on the grass or on the mud. Yeah,
of course. Okay, so a bit more peaceful then in the countryside, I presume.
Yes, it was more peaceful.
And did you go to anywhere else?
Well, I was gonna ask you actually. What did you do this weekend?
Okay. Oh well, this weekend I went to visit a medieval town called Sommières for the first time because I had a girlfriend who moved down there.
Yes.
And Sommières is not far from Nîmes or Arles. It's sort of at the crossroads of the Mediterranean.
Right, okay, sounds nice.
Yeah, near the Cevennes, the Camargue, Arles. So yeah, it is nice.
Wow, okay. So yeah, two very different weekends by both of us.
Yeah.
And going back to what you said earlier, the following day, after the race actually, I went for something to eat.
Okay, and where did you go there?
Went to a quirky restaurant, serving up typical Lyonnese food, a bit like the Sommières food. Okay,
well, why would you say it's a bit like Sommières? Because it's medieval as well. Where did you go in Lyon, Saint-Jean?
It was in the old town. I don't remember the street it was on, but it was in the old town.
It was in the old town. Yeah, well, I definitely enjoyed Sommières with the old, very narrow cobbled street, colourful little roads that were going quite steep as well, actually. You know, you have to do a lot of walking up the hill and going back down, etc.
Oh, that's good.
With their traditional markets, very Provençal, really.
Okay, so I guess you build up an appetite.
Well, we always build up an appetite when we go away, and we have time to taste all these traditional little foods that they have. Yeah, but it was a great opportunity to visit somewhere really different.
Right. And did you? You didn't go to any museums?
I did actually. I went to visit the Cultural Centre, and the Cultural Centre, I don't actually remember its name. Yes, I do actually. Laurence Durel.
Okay.
Okay, and this is a hub which welcomes all the residents of Sommières because they transformed an old convent into a cultural centre where you can have the library, where you can go have a coffee, read something from the library, meet different people. So they've made it really a hub where they can welcome all the residents of the area just to come and go as they please. It was very, very nice. Something I thought that would be a good idea here in Aix-les-Bains.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always nice to have new things to see and do in Aix-les-Bains.
Oh, of course, yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, I did go to the Musée du Cinéma de la Miniature, it's pronounced.
So where was that?
In Lyon
itself? In the old town?
In the old town on the following day.
Okay.
Which was amazing, actually. Had an eclectic collection of movie memorabilia. And some of it's authentic from actual movies. There was 9 exhibits in total on various floors.
And do they have the same? The 9 exhibits that they have, are they different exhibits that are there just short term, or are they long term exhibits that are there permanently?
I think they change it around from time to time. That's a good question. I didn't look into that, but I mean, it was art, film, design, everything was. Surpassed our expectations.
Oh, really? So it's not just the cinema of miniatures. It's really
there's a lot of cultural stuff.
And where were they from? These exhibitions, were they all French, or were there some international?
There was some, mainly French. There was some international too, but it was mainly French.
Mainly French. Okay, well, that's great. Well, the French are fantastic with their films and all that.
Not, yeah.
Yeah, well, in Sommières, in one of the streets beside the Laurence Durel Cultural Centre, where I was actually staying in front of this centre, and on the streets when you're going down over the doors in some parts, you can see little signs. And these signs are signs during the medieval period, where people actually did their job. So if you were a shoemaker, they had a little shoe. If you were a leather tanner, they would have a little sort of leather sign. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Very, and they're still trying to keep some of those traditions, because in Sommières, if you are looking for antiques, you will find a whole antique road where people are open on a Sunday. I think they've even got an antique marketplace.
Wow.
I couldn't stay to watch because I just didn't have the time. But it was very seducing, and very nice to see all these craftsmen with their talents and all sort of back to time.
Wow, well, that's it. I'd like to visit, and I think in the summer it could be nice too, I guess.
Oh, of course it will be, yeah. Especially the Laurence Durel Cultural Centre, where they really explain how the convent was transformed into the multimedia room, the library, and a coffee shop to be able to share with other people. So there you are.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is our quiz for today, Tim?
So could you name the cathedral in the old town I ran past?
I think it was in Saint-Jean, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Are you supposed to give the answer away?
I don't remember if I am supposed to, but I remember.
Well, you can have that one then. The name of the museum I visited. Which town did Sinead visit? And what adjectives did she use to describe the town?
Well, there you go, listeners. So that's all we will have today. But, of course, I know you've learned some new vocabulary. And if you want to listen to this podcast again, don't hesitate to find us on your YouTube, on Radio Grand Lac, Your English Weekly. And don't forget to come and see Tim. Tim is does his coffee and conversation every morning from 8:30 to 9:30. And also, listeners, while you're here, donc, restez bien à l'écoute aujourd'hui parce qu'à 13h, c'est la place aux associations avec Patrick. À 17h, 1h, une commune, Groisy-sur-Aix, avec, bien sûr, notre fameuse Jean-Pierre. Et listeners, écoutez bien, à 19h30, il y a une nouvelle émission, la 6e de 9e émission sur le cinéma avec Kevin et Guillaume. Je suis pas sûre, listeners, je dis ça très bien, mais bon, écoutez, je pense que vous avez bien compris. Une nouvelle émission ce soir. Donc, restez bien à l'écoute sur Radio Grand Lac. And I wish you all a wonderful week. And I'll be back next week with another conversation and a few new words and expressions. Bye to you from us at you.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.